I mean, is there anything specific you saw watching the game back that stood out to you?
I mean, the awareness on their threes wasn't where we needed to be consistently. When we needed to get a contested hand, and we did. There were times where Towns had threes at the top. We were just too low in transition. We had opportunities to attack the ball, and we let them get rhythm threes. And then, positive notes. I mean, to have that many assists and the balance in scoring and the way we did it, playing on the second side a lot last night because they were trapping the pick and roll at times, and we were getting the ball from one side of the floor to the other side to the shooters and playmakers on the backside. That was pretty cool to watch. And just being able to sustain our energy against an athletic team is, something that you face on a night in, night out basis, but they bring a different level of athleticism with their length, and they have freaky athletes on that team. And so we were able to, withstand that kind of team in that regard, in transition and attacking the basket and some of their defensive coverages.
As you know much better than I do, when defenses are giving you kind of a choice of what to take, it seemed like the second side was for them last night. They were giving that. So when the second side is the thing that's open, what's the main key to that? Is it the first dribble inside by the guy who kind of has to get that penetration? I'm curious where it kind of starts.
Well, I mean, there's so many. I don't think I have the perfect answer to it, but I think when you have two guys that can draw two people, when Chris has the ball in pick and roll, he can draw two. When Book has it in pick and roll and his drives, he can attract two people. And when two people are on the ball, there's a deficit on the backside for the defense. But then you have to have guys that are capable but willing to make and take the shots. And then the ability to put pressure on the rim. I mean, everybody in the league is, it's a commodity to have bigs that can dive and understand what to do when they get the ball in the dive. Early in the game, we were diving too low. We were diving to the help. And then we started to shorten our rolls a little bit, and it became a bit more effective. So I think if you can have those things, you can be somewhat effective and productive on offense.
Given McKell and Cam Johnson, where you started with them compared to now, is that one of the biggest areas those guys have improved, where it's like that 1 to 2 dribble decision when they're forced to?
Yeah. I mean, McKell's shown the ability to go 2-3 dribbles. Cam has taken it a step further. There are times where he'll get it in transition, he'll get it off of a steal, and he's gone. And it's not just a straight line drive. It's a little bit of a wiggle, beat a guy, beat another guy, go finish at the basket or find. Both of those guys have really grown in their games, but they've also grown in the corporate confidence that everybody has in them to make those plays. And we know they're going to continue to get better because they work so hard at it. But to see where they were and where they are now is pretty cool.
Landry's shooting, is that just kind of a comparison to the leader, or is that kind of what you're talking about with the second side action?
Landry's stuff is just let it go. Stop thinking about it, shoot the ball. If you miss, so what? We have so many guys in our team that get upset when he doesn't take shots, from coaches to players. And so, he has the ability to make shots. He also has the ability to put the ball down and get the spots on the floor and find other guys. But for us, it's like, Landry, shoot the ball, let it fly. Don't worry about the consequences. We believe in you. And it was just good to see him shoot the ball without hesitation last night. Yeah.
What is that offense that he's doing that as well?
Well, I mean, he played point guard some in college. And I was in Philly when we drafted him. So I didn't know much about him because I didn't know a lot about many college guys. So when I got there, they talked about his playmaking skills. And that's what stood out to me when we had him in Philly. Probably doesn't get enough chances to show it just because, we have a few guys that have the ball in our system a lot more than he would. But for him to have 5 assists, speaks to the balance in his game. He's a lot like Cam Johnson. People just look at those guys as shooters, but they have the ability to facilitate and make plays all over the court.
Monty, with what you were saying about Landry, it comes to mind just because he was just in town, but a guy like Clarkson, for example, confidence is like a skill for him at that point. Do you consider confidence to be a skill?
I do. I think there's different kinds of confidence. Some people have it, they're just born with it. They probably drive you crazy when they were kids, you know what I mean? And then there's the confidence that comes from work. And I think there are some guys that have both. Some guys have one or the other. We have a lot of our guys, as they've developed and put the work in, they've built their confidence. Then we have guys that are just unbelievably confident on any given day, any city, and they put the work in. So it makes them, it puts them in an elite class when it comes to confidence. And then I think confidence comes from other people. When you're able to be in an environment where people are encouraging you and pushing you to be your best, I think that helps too. I think we all at times waver in our confidence, but it's good to be in an environment where people are pushing you to be your best.
I know ankle sprains are kind of all over the place for DeAndre. Has this been incremental progress day by day still since it occurred?
It has been. It's been unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, injuries are a part of our game. And you have brain injuries like over there. But it's just a part of the deal, and we've always been pretty cautious, as most teams are. It's not like back in the day where it's just slap some ice on it and duct tape and keep it moving. But it is getting better in increments, and I'm sure he'll be back soon.
I remember when he was sick, he showed up that day. We were like, dude, just go away.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Have you had the closet talks with him about just where he needs to manage?
I try to do it with all of our guys. Just pick your spots. It's a long season, and everybody hates to miss. It's just because what we do is pretty fun. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to miss, and we try to let our guys know that you're never going to be 100%. That's just not what it is at this point in the year, but try to get as close as you can and wait until you get there before you come back. And then there's a conditioning aspect that players have to deal with. You can't go from getting treatment, sitting on a table for days, sometimes weeks, and then jumping right back on the floor. You risk injury and risk hurting yourself further in those situations.
Hey, Monty, I've been watching this since you were at Notre Dame and wondering about the many workouts that you do here at the facility during practice. Now you talk about a long season. As a former athlete, does it feel unnatural to not work out, and that's why you continue to do many workouts? Like, what's the reason behind that?
I'm fighting gravity. I'm 50 years old. Stuff doesn't hang up like it used to, man. It's all going towards the ground, and but I really enjoy it, to be honest with you. I love the workout. I love, how it makes me feel from a health standpoint. I love teaching my kids, different aspects of health, and then, it creates sweat equity here at work. When I'm in the weight room with the guys, some of the best conversations you have with your coworkers or the players is just sitting over there on the bike or in the weight room, just goofing around doing some stuff, and so it's all I've done since I was 5 years old. I don't know anything else. I've never had to work in an office for hours. I've never had to do that. All I've done is I've been in the gym or a weight room or some type of cardio room my whole life, and it's pretty much all I know.
I feel like it sets the standard as a coach with these young guys to work out with them, such and compared to some coaches that might be older, they don't do things like that.
I think if it was just me, it wouldn't, but I think our whole staff does it, which I think adds to the culture. once we get done here today, you'll have 6, 7 coaches over there working out before they go home. And a lot of us work out so we can eat, but I'm hopeful that there's a health aspect to it. But I think it's the number of coaches that do it, not just me, that lends itself to the work culture that we have here. And one of the coolest things is our guys always walk by us before they go to their vehicles. And they all always say, "Take care, coach. Have a good evening, coach," like everybody. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. You know, they could easily just walk by and go to their cars, but they always walk right by and they say goodbye to the coaches. You know, and that to me speaks to the level of integrity and character we have on our team. And I hear it from time to time. I'll be on the plane and one of the attendants will walk up to me and she'll be like, "Coach, I just want you to know your guys are some of the most respectful people we've ever dealt with." And that's pretty cool when you have somebody who doesn't have to tell you that, you know, walk up to you and tell you that on the plane, and then I see it in the weight room when they're headed home. They may say something else about me when they get to their car, but as they leave the weight room, they do say, "Take care, coach."
Thank you, Mike.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.